Mike Heller joins us as he does every Monday. As I've said many a time, Mike, this applies to you as well, Brian. If I didn't love you, I wouldn't fight as much with you as I do. Good morning, Mike. How are you today, my friend?
I'm okay.
Oh, that's a weird sound coming from your system there. Normally not as normally you're much more pristine than that. Good morning, Mike.
Yeah,
There you go. There you
how's
go.
that,
There
is
you
that
go.
better?
There you go. Did you do anything or was that on our end?
That was on me.
Okay, that's right. All right. Good morning.
Roddy
Mike
said
Heller
weird
joins
stuff.
us now. You'll hear him today noon to 3. How you doing, buddy?
What worries me today, how am I doing? I'm worried about the Packers. I'm worried about them like I was in 2013 when the 5-2 Packers lost Aaron Rodgers in a game against the Bears, and their backup quarterback was Seneca Wallace. Because at the end of camp, they cut Vince Young, and then they signed Scott Tolzien, who wasn't in Packers training camp. So at the end of training camp this year, the Packers cut both quarterbacks and then re-sign Sean, and then they go get Malik Willis. So, and now Malik Willis, here's the question that I have, Steve Zabin. Is Malik Willis absolutely your starting quarterback on Sunday at Lambeau Field in Green Bay? Or is Sean Clifford?
Me personally,
yeah.
I don't see how you wouldn't start Clifford and get a blindfold and a cigarette and hope it works out. I don't understand how Willis could possibly be able to run even close to the full gamut of the playbook.
Yet on Friday night in Sao Paulo, Sean Clifford wasn't dressed. He wasn't even dressed as your emergency third
That's
quarterback.
the kicker. That right there is your tell, though, right? Like if we were doing that, like realistically, Sean Clifford should have been dressed as your backup. I was shocked. That was one of those things early in Friday night that I saw that I was like, wow, that's interesting.
How do we get in this spot in the first place?
Well, they didn't trust enough of what Clifford and Pratt did not do in camp. Some of this is on Sean Clifford. He wasn't. I don't know if he didn't put all the. Wouldn't question the guy's
they
work ethic.
Loved
but he
him
good
last August,
and then he wasn't good enough this camp, and I don't know why.
They loved him enough in the winter to not go out and spend a little bit of money on a term life policy from Mutual of Omaha at backup quarterback.
This goes back to the August debate about whether you should have gone out and got a veteran quarterback to be your backup. How serious are you about a Super Bowl run? Do you want a veteran quarterback, a Carson Wentz-ish, a Ryan Tannehill-ish, somebody that can be the backup and you will trust to go into the game? Or are you going to go with Michael Pratt and Sean Clifford?
Right.
And in this case, then Malik Willis and Sean Clifford, and you guys chronicled Willis doesn't have a touchdown pass in his NFL career in his 10 years.
Now, here's my counter, though, okay?
Yeah, go.
Because in this morning show, it was something, and I'm right out there with you, Zay, but I was wrong. We did not talk nearly enough about the need for a backup quarterback. Mike, listen on and off, so I might have missed a day, but I don't believe your show talked that there was a need for a backup quarterback, that you needed to go get one immediately. You needed a veteran. Like, those talks were not extremely loud. At least on this radio station, it wasn't.
Because there was no market for that talk. Nobody wanted to hear that talk.
I don't care about a market.
We're in the entertainment business.
I'll tell you, I can only tell you why I didn't.
Yeah.
And that was because throughout camp, I thought that Sean Clifford was going to be your backup quarterback.
That they loved Clifford.
Yes.
That they were high on Clifford.
Yeah. They believed that he knew it enough. Now, he had a bad camp, but we don't see all of camp.
How bad could it have been?
Well, it was obviously bad enough to go get Malik Willis.
Right. What did he show that suddenly turned him from the, we got a guy here.
Yeah.
And no, we're good. We don't need anybody guy to get out.
So I'm just holding us all accountable here. That's all, because it wasn't a strong conversation, and now will be strong conversation this week. And what we
because you don't count on the injury
for
to start with, but in the front office. Here's the issue: when they did this in 2013, now I know it's a decade plus ago.
It's not that long ago.
They went
different regime though.
4-1 in the next 5.
Yeah,
they went 0-4-1. If they replicate that, season's over. You cannot start 0-5 in this league or 0-4-1 and find your resolution.
0-3 is lethal.
Indianapolis,
in my
at
opinion.
Tennessee, home Minnesota, at Los Angeles. That's the next 4. Where are you getting a win? Sunday is probably your best chance to get a win in this grouping at home against Indianapolis.
You think better than Tennessee?
Yeah. Well,
Tennessee's pretty bad.
Both of those games. Right?
I agree. I think the way the schedule sets up for an injury to happen, not that you ever want, like this is probably your best stretch.
Yeah. And on Friday night they were not clean. I mean,
it was ridiculous. The lack of discipline was just stupid. As a former player, like that to me was the biggest thing.
Can we get back to the quarterback thing? Again, I'll ask the question: how did we get here? I got the one word answer, whether you want to hear it or not: arrogance. Goody was arrogant, and the team was arrogant. Oh, we don't need a backup. We know what we're doing. We got guys. Watch this. 7th rounder for Pratt stinks. Clifford's our guy. No, wait a minute. He's not our guy. Let's go get Malik Willis, who's never thrown a touchdown pass. It is a arrogance that is potentially going to bite him in the ass in the next 3 weeks. Now, that doesn't mean I don't still trust in Goody. Doesn't mean I don't like Goody. Two things don't cancel each other out. I'm just adding it to the mix. This was arrogant, and they're now in a dangerous spot. Am I wrong?
Where did your guy Taylor Heineke go? Somebody signed him after the Commanders.
Heineke, I would love Heineke right now.
That's my point. There are other guys out there that I thought would have been a better fit in Green Bay, and I don't know the reason why Malik Willis.
Chargers.
Yeah. He went to the Chargers.
I went down the list of
Malik Willis. I don't get.
I know. I went down the list of contending teams that went shopping for backups this winter, and they spent some money, and they flipped a 5th for a 6th. Or a 7th or whatever, just to get a little bit more. Teams that had lived this last year, the Jets, said not again, and they backstopped their quarterback room with somebody that they know can actually play the game and get the team in and out of the huddle with the play called and the formation right. Because even that alone, before you even throw the ball in the air, is hard enough to flip a protection from weak side to strong side, to make sure that you adjust things, that you're looking at the right thing out on the field. Hell, we had 2 guys in motion at the same time, which is clown car football, not once, but twice. Am I yelling? I'm not yelling. Holy crap. Okay.
Well, even the interception that Love throws, I watched a breakdown of that by Banker, and the interception that Love throws is a play that Musgrave is supposed to flatten, and he doesn't flatten. And Love throws it in what Benkert thinks is the right spot, but because Musgrave never flattens, the safety is able to get to the ball and make the pick. There's all these things.
Yeah, Benkert said that, but then Kurt Warner came out. Kurt Warner came out on Twitter and said, "Hey, you're wrong on this too."
Okay.
I saw the same thing.
Oh, this is good now. Okay.
Ultimately, that's not my point. My point
no, I know what your point is.
Some teams in the league play their starters in preseason games, and it works for them. Some they play them, and it doesn't matter. Others, they don't play them at all, and they're just fine. I thought both teams looked sloppy on Friday night. I thought both teams looked sloppy. I think Green Bay wins the game, with a – and by the way, not to feed into Zabe's want to, but Torbert and that crew and the first three NFL crews were rotten.
Of course.
They're told to blow the – nobody wants to see you. We don't need to see 21 flags on the field. Stop it. I
agree.
They're just throwing everything they can at it and trying to send a message that, hey, these are the rules we're going to enforce this year. Knock it off.
I love the fact that you went to Kurt Tripp for your quarterback opinion with a cup of coffee. Kurt Tripp. It's like Quick Trip, but it's Kurt Banker Trip.
Yeah.
And Kurt's good, but I love the fact that there was Kurt on Kurt violence.
Oh, yeah. Kurt Warner definitely clapped
on
back.
Banker.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the bigger picture is that not all interceptions are quarterback issues.
I'll take the Super Bowl winning Hall of Famer Kurt Warner over Kurt Banker.
Over Kurt Tripp. Banker.
Yes.
Yeah, but Kurt Bankert was in this offense under LaFleur more recently than Warner ever was. So maybe he knows more.
I would agree. Hey, Mike, I do have a question, and this is my take earlier in the day on 6 o'clock hour that we did. I said, if this injury was 6 weeks long, for sure, they go sign Ryan Tannehill. If it's only 3, which I think it is, they stay with Malik Harris.
There's no cost. There's no cost to picking up. There's no cost to picking up Tannehill for 1 game. The cost is money, which doesn't cost anything because you own the Green Bay Packers, and the cost is a roster spot, which can be managed. There's no cost. So I don't understand your logic, Butchie, of if it was a long injury, they'd sign it, but it's short, so don't worry.
Well, you got to get the guy fully up to speed in 4 days. 4 days of practice.
Timing wise, you're right. It's going to be a rush.
Yeah,
That's one. Two, I think there's a locker room dynamic. Even though Willis came in, I think I'm going to tell you my opinion. You might disagree with me, but I'm telling you I'm telling you my opinion on it. So those are some of the big things. Mike, why do you agree with me, Mike?
Ryan Tannehill has bided his time looking for an opportunity to be the quarterback, not the Band-Aid. So, yeah, I think there is that. I don't think Butchie's totally wrong on that. I think there's a possibility. Tannehill hasn't signed with somebody because he doesn't want to be the guy holding the clipboard. He wants to be the guy.
What if they reached, well, that's delusional, but whatever. Good for you, Ryan. What if they reached out to Tannehill and he said no? And he said, please let it be known to the insiders out there that we weren't interested because we don't want to be embarrassed that we were turned down by you. Is that possible?
Sure. Yeah. this
Butchie, what do you think about that?
No, I mean, you might. This might be the case, though. Say realistically, why there's two different reports out there? It very well could be the case.
Could it be a Cousin Eddie situation? Do you know what a Cousin Eddie situation is?
No idea. I don't know.
Christmas vacation where his wife says he's holding out for a management position.
I don't know that.
That's why I hadn't worked in as long. He's like, he's holding out for management.
On the fumes.
That's from Gurney. Came in from Gurney, coasting in on fumes. Okay, well, look, they got to win one of the next 3 games. One of 3. They cannot be 0-3. 0-3 is fatal. Most likely will die a slow, withering death in the desert as we're like, help, and but one game in the next 2 weeks. I think Love comes back for Minnesota. Mike?
Okay. Well, yeah, I don't know that.
I get what do you think?
I get it. I don't think so.
What do you think?
I think the road trip to LA. I have a hard time. You're talking about getting healthy off that. We don't know do we know the grade? Did they give us?
No, that's the thing that I don't know. Like I said, and I've had it before. That's why I'm leaning towards a 3 just based on thinking that. But
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it depends on the position. I was talking in the Badger broadcast booth on Saturday. Taus said, he was back. He missed a week. Linemen
are built different,
doing a different deal, and they're built different. They're hockey players. Linemen are. So I didn't think it was a bad game. I didn't think either team played well, but the game was very entertaining, and I thought Green Bay played certainly well enough to find their way home. That they didn't, and that happened on the last set of downs, is perhaps the worst case scenario you could build into that game. And by the way, Roger Goodell was on with Larrabee and Rock in the pregame, and they're not only going back, they're going to expand going back. And he said it makes it a lot easier when we do this next year to be at 18 games. So Goodell dropped some nuggets in his time down there that they're still hell-bent on being 18 games next year. And they're also hell-bent on going to the second biggest market outside of the U.S., Mexico, then Brazil. They're going back.
Why don't they go to China?
I don't know that that's their market. I don't know that there is a market there.
No, if I were the NFL, I'd crack that son of a bitch open because it's the biggest market out there.
Oh, they're going to go to Abu Dhabi, though. I guarantee you that. Watch that. That's coming.
The 2 biggest markets that there probably is just no appetite for tackle football are China and India. Otherwise, they would be there already. But Brazil's a massive one, and they've opened that up. And obviously, Mexico. Look, the concept sucks from a fan standpoint. The field sucked. The ref sucks. The announcers sucked. The atmosphere sucked. Stupid night to have football. Peacock sucks. I wish they would never do it again. But like you said, Mike, they're not only going to do it again, they're going to do double of it because they're whores for money.
So we all have opinions, but your opinion on Friday night is wrong. The worst thing about Friday night was Peacock. Peacock is a problem. It was a problem across the country. It's a problem outside of Milwaukee and Green Bay, which you guys don't have to worry about it. But outside of those 2 markets in the state, it's a problem.
How did you watch?
You're not getting rid of it. It doesn't matter. It might be a problem.
Correct.
But it's not like they were all over it.
But that's
Friday night. They were all over it. Saturday night with college football, and they were all over it Sunday night. It's here to stay.
That's a bigger issue than the game being played on Friday night.
Hold on.
Zero Friday night issue.
Hold on. Mike, do you pay for Peacock?
Yes.
Do you pay for the Wisconsin State Journal?
Yes.
Okay. Should I?
for both, either or both.
No, Wisconsin State Journal. I already paid for Peacock.
Well, in order to be fully up to speed on what's
That's
going
what
on,
I feel.
with
But I got
Wisconsin,
burned by my
you
Milwaukee
gotta read Jim
Journal.
Polzin.
I know. Well, I got burned by my Milwaukee Journal Sentinel experience, and I finally got out of that. I don't want to be
burnable.
burned again.
Yeah,
I don't
but it's
mind
the same
flipping the
thing.
Wisconsin State Journal. They're owned by the same company.
No. I mean, it's the same concept.
Same
Okay.
concept.
Yeah, but if they let you cancel more easily, I'm better off jumping into the
Yeah,
Wisconsin
it's
State
not like
Journal.
you to cancel or return stuff. I don't understand where.
That's-
Yeah,
going.
why? Who would do that?
This is I am who I am. I do what I do. I make no apologies for it. College football. I know you got to talk about the bad. I want to get your thoughts on the Badgers.
Yeah,
but I want the thinking man's Mike Heller to just weigh in on what's going on at Colorado, because it was a bleep show on Saturday night. They're getting run out of the building. And Deion Sanders, in addition to all the legitimate things you can criticize him on, also has no earthly clue about how to use timeouts.
That was the biggest thing to me.
I mean,
more than
wow.
anything. 10 seconds. Go ahead.
End of the first half, they're down 28-0. They're clamoring for air, a breath of air. They got the ball near midfield, 3 timeouts in 30 seconds. And he lets 20 seconds just bleed out and then goes, oh, yeah, timeout. It shows, Mike, a lack of attention to the little things that will do him in at Colorado. I bet after this year is over, he's tire tracks.
I wouldn't be surprised at that. The reason he's there, and the reason he was there for a second year, and I don't know if he will be for a third, is
his kids.
No.
Oh,
I'm talking about the Colorado end of
Colorado was terrible.
He's at Colorado for his kids. He hijacked the D1 program to be a helicopter dad.
He's at Colorado has him because he is making them money hand over fist. Again, we ask all these things, and what's always
is
the
he
answer?
Making them money?
Oh my gosh. Their enrollment applications are up 400% for out-of-state kids. What does a college function on? Out-of-state tuition. Colorado's a big
but they're paying
tuition.
him a lot.
But they're also getting all of this money, all of this exposure. When's the last time Colorado was featured on primetime games?
Yeah, but they're terrible. And
Guys,
they're only going to get
different
worse.
than why did UW Green Bay hire Doug Gottlieb? Same concept.
So
just on a bigger stage. Now, Doug might do well, Doug might do bad, but you're talking Green Bay basketball.
Okay,
He's
so
making Colorado money.
So when his kid gets drafted, and both his kids get drafted, then what? He's going to stick around and keep building this thing for the long haul, be there 10 years?
I think that this very well could be his last year there. And
will it have been worth it?
Rolls on. Will it? I don't know what their bottom line says.
How's that enrollment going to go once he leaves?
Decisions are made for money. How did they do financially in the Deion Sanders experience? And I think that financially,
man, you sound like an apologist for what's going on. I think
we're talking about two different things.
Oh.
I don't think he's great for football or their program. I think he's been great for their university. I think he's made them countless amounts of money in this 2-year run.
I heard their geology department was top notch.
Is that rocks?
Almost went there.
Yes. That's what's in your head.
That's rocks. Now that's not nice.
414-799.
Now that's not nice.
Did you shoot that at me?
No, that was at me. Don't worry, you're not
that
taking
you,
shots
Butchie?
fired. Normally it's you, but that was not nice, Steven.
Sorry about that. Anyway,
you're lucky I could have fun with you, Steve.
Also,
Otherwise, we'd be fisticuffed.
Well, your legs are tingling now, so I think I just do a leg sweep to start.
They
the
are
day
tingling.
with.
I don't know what's going on. I gotta go see a doctor.
Dr. Heller, do you have a diagnosis for Butchie's tingly legs?
No, but I do have my money on Butch if the fight ever happens.
Oh yeah. Got a long wingspan.
Are you a fighter, Butchie? Did you fight
I'm a
when you were
lover.
playing international?
I'm a lover, baby.
Did you get any scraps back in the day?
Yeah, I told you I got into a bunch of fights. I got in a fight with Mater one time on the court. Bo loved that. Got in a fight in Dubai where the other guy punched through a glass door. Had to go there. Yeah, there's a lot of things going on.
Nice. All right.
But I'm still a lover.
All right, Heller. Today,
Just
noon
gotta
to
find
3.
somebody to love.
Noon to 3. You will have all the angles covered as it's Alabama week.
It's Bama week.